This one for WWE champions. Pay to win like every day, yeah.
I don't play mobile games.
Funny how they still think I'm a broke man.
Then I'm broke.
Even though I be pulling Hogan's. I spent like 40 grand on a couple thousand pictures of some sweaty men.
I just want you guys to put yourself into my situation. Really, just do this for a second, all right? And I want you to, because I think sadly most people do not, and they hold you accountable and they treat me like shit. And I just want you to listen to me for a second rationally, okay? For over 10 years, I've exclusively played fighting games on console, all right? Exclusively. And every time that I've done this, I've never had an issue with any kind of security whatsoever, because consoles secure all your information. No one's going to get your IP address from playing a fighting game on a console, ever, right? But because of that, I've had to put up with lag and inferior versions of these games, right? I have, and we can all agree that the console versions of classic fighting games are not up to snuff with the real versions. They've all had issues with lag, or like I said, with the Capcom Classics collection, literally no moderation options whatsoever. Okay? So, pretty bad, right? In that regard, you get the inferior version, but at least you're safe, correct? Excuse me. So, it's 10 years. Everyone yelled at me, I'm doing the wrong thing. Everyone uses Fightcade. Why don't you just use Fightcade? You're such an idiot. You're such a dumbass. You're such a loser. You don't do what everyone else does. You're not playing the best players because you're not using Fightcade. You should be using Fightcade. So now here we are, 10 years later, and I'm ready. I've been waiting. I got the time set around. Let's do it. Right? Oh, by the way, that exposes your IP address. Oh. You had to wait 10 years to fucking tell me that? Seriously, now I'm fucking pissed. I'm legit and very rightly pissed that you had to wait to the day that I scheduled it. Because everyone asked me for it for 10 fucking years. Now you're going to tell me, oh, your IP address gets exposed. It gets to the point where when people ask for shit and they start to unfairly treat me away, I'm just going to tell them, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear you bitching. Because that's where the point we're getting to at this point. Like, people screaming so loudly that I'm doing it wrong, when in reality, I've always been doing it right, because there's no way that a streamer should be using Fightcade if it gives away your IP address. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired that because I'm Darkside Phil, I'm the brunt of the abuse. I get the one that get yelled at and called names and treated poorly because I'm Darkside Phil. That's really the only reason, right? If I was anyone else, it would have been like, all right, well, you're a streamer, you know, Fightcade's the best, but, you know, for me, it's like, no, fuck you, Phil, you piece of shit, right? You've been doing it wrong for 10 years. Why don't you just listen to us, right? Okay, well, then I'm listening to you now. Let's do it. Oh, wait, actually, your IP just gets exposed. You should have never done this to begin with. See, now Swagonito says, well, streamers use Fightcade all day long. Avoid the puddle is one of them. How? If it gives away your IP address, as people are suggesting in the chat, how? Player Essence, please, please, please kiss my fucking ass and enjoy your permanent ban, you dumb piece of fucking shit. Seriously. Fuck off. Asshole. Why am I so angry? Because if you were told for 10 years that you're doing something wrong, for 10 years, you were told you're the one who's doing everything incorrectly, why don't you just listen to reason? And then the day you're actually going to make amends and change and try to do the thing that people have said this is the right thing to do, you get told, oh no, you can't do it anyway. How would you feel? It doesn't even matter that's Fightcade. This could have been anything, right? I don't know, you know? No, you see, Fightcade is something that the FGC is heavily into and has been. So if you're in the FGC, you probably know about Fightcade. Outside of that, you probably never heard of it. It's not something that you would hear. It's not advertised. It's not something that they're trying to get tons of people to use or anything like that, right? So now I don't know what to do. You tell me. What am I supposed to do, right? What do I do? Maybe I'll just sit here tonight and I'll just fucking sit back like this. I'll just be like, hey, I'm just going to sit here. I'm just going to sit on stream and do nothing. Right? I don't know what else. It's just ridiculous at this point. It really is. At this point, I'm just so flabbergasted. I'm just so resigned. It gets to the point where, like, you get, what is the word? Like, you get desensitized. Like, I shouldn't be upset. I shouldn't be surprised that for 10 years people gave me misinformation and yelled at me for that misinformation and acted like I was a villain or stupid or whatever, doing the wrong thing. You know, I guess I shouldn't expect to be treated with respect. I guess that's actually the best way to put it. I should not expect to be treated with any kind of respect. Whatever people tell me, 9 times out of 10, they're fucking with me. They're just, you know, any criticism of me actually isn't valid. It's just people trying to basically make fun of me just for the sake of making fun of me, right? I thought this was legit. I thought it's like, oh, people really haven't, Phil's been really missing out on playing old school fighters, right? He's really been missing out because he just doesn't listen, because he's stubborn, he's obstinate. And so after all these years, I get to a point where I actually have a situation where I have a PC that I can play Fightcade. Let's do it. I'm excited to do it. We have the time to do it. I made the time to do it. I want to set it up. I want to do it. And then the morning before I'm going to do it, you tell me it gives away my IP address. It only took 10 fucking years. Wow. Horny Gordon Rule says Fightcade doesn't openly display your IP. It's still accessible during gameplay due to peer-to-peer nature like Call of Duty. So explain this to me. How does anyone ever stream Call of Duty? Because don't you think there's malicious parties who would get someone's IP address who's a streamer and DDoS attack them or post it all over the internet? So how is it possible that people play Call of Duty? How is it possible that Avoid the Puddle plays on Fightcade and doesn't get his IP address doxed? How is this possible? No, not a VPN, you incredible dunce. Stop saying VPN. VPNs are not for online play. Wow, that is a stupid answer. Just the very nature of the fact that you don't know how a VPN works is hilarious. To say that in a chat, that you think that you want to add latency by using a VPN in an online play, that is incredibly stupid, what you're saying. Well, I guess it's a shot then. I guess we're just not doing it. You know? I guess we're not doing it. What a waste of time this whole thing has been. Seriously. What a hilarious waste of time this discussion has been all these years that people have yelled at me to play Fightcade. Because I'm being told, like legit someone who's trying to help in chat says, this is why in things like Fightcade it's considered friend groups or friend lobbies, people you trust playing against each other. That way, it's not people using the information maliciously against you or anything. That's what they're saying. Yeah, play with trusted friends only. Well, then I can never use Fightcade, ever. Not a single fucking time can I ever play Fightcade, right? So I'm done. That's it. Fightcade is off the table. Now we have to change the schedule for the next 2 nights because I cannot play this program, even though people have demanded that I use it for a decade. Outright told me I'm an idiotic moron buffoon for playing console versions of fighting games when Fightcade exists. And, you know, I mean, literally, outright been insulted as if I'm just fucking stupid as shit because I've been playing on console. But now I find out, actually, I was in the right all along. Right? Like, wow, that's tremendous. That's absolutely tremendous. Amazing. And again, guys, I was 100% gung-ho. I was going to do this tonight. 100%. I was in line to play tonight with all of you to enjoy retro fighting games. And apparently, I'm just not allowed that luxury like everybody else is. I'm not allowed to. Because I'm Darkside Phil, and everyone just wants to fuck on shit on me constantly. Right? All right. So unless anyone can prove differently, I guess it's off the table. We're not doing Fightcade. It's done. You know, I'm glad I didn't fucking do anything early because, again, everyone's saying, oh, just do it early. Set it up early. Imagine if I did and then it gets canceled after all that work. Fuck that. You know? No, a Google search wouldn't have done any of this because you need to hear it firsthand from people who use it to truly understand anything. Google searches are pretty fucking worthless. Right now, if you do a Google search, it'll tell you that fucking there's aliens on Earth and all kinds of weird shit. You don't know what you're talking about. You need to actually talk to people who actively use the technology regularly to really understand it. So, yeah, I have no idea what we're doing tonight. Right? I don't know. I guess we're just going to have a random stream where I'm just coming on stream and doing whatever. Whether it's no gameplay and we just fuck around. You know, we could do a Game Pass night, which originally is what we were talking about doing, is just exploring Game Pass and seeing if there's any games in there we're interested in.